words. Welcome to our home, the home of the People's Progressive Party. Solid as ever, strong forever, the People's Progressive Party. The General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Comrade Bharat Jagdeo. The Executive Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Comrade Zulfikar Mustafa. Our dear Prime Minister, Mark Phillips. Our former President, including here Comrade Donald Ramotar, and leaders of the People's Progressive Party. But most importantly, the membership, you, the core, the foundation of the People's Progressive Party. Today is another historic day in the life of the People's Progressive Party. We gather here under much better circumstances than our last Congress. When we met at the last Congress, the membership of the PPP, the delegates and observers of the last Congress, which is the highest decision-making body of the party, mandated the party to realign itself with the changing circumstances in our country and to provide the captivating leadership that would return hope to the people of our country and that would provide the strongest possible leadership in the People's Progressive Party. Staying true to that mandate, we could not have asked to be led by a stronger comrade than Comrade Bharat Jagdeo as the General Secretary. Comrade Bharat Jagdeo took the mantle as General Secretary of the party, and immediately upon the mandate of the last Congress, we did a few things. Any political entity must have the confidence in itself to self-examine, to rectify, and to realign. And that is exactly what we did. There was a thorough self-examination of the strengths and the weaknesses, and led by the General Secretary, we developed a plan and a strategy to convert every weakness into strength and to lay a path for the party that is sustainable, resilient, and one that allowed us to achieve victory in 2020. We must not take this period in the life and history of our party lightly. It was a time in our country when the political leadership of the PPP was tested in every way, shape, and form. We were followed. We were identified for preferential and differential treatment. Our rights were trampled upon. We were paraded before the courts. They sought to strip the dignity of the leadership of the PPP. But because of the strength of the membership of the PPP, that dignity stands outstandingly in our country today. It was a period that many may not realize because of the way we manage, the level of maturity that the PPP leadership demonstrated. But guess what? It took time. It took effort. It took full commitment. And I want to publicly acknowledge on behalf of the membership of the PPP this morning that the then former president and our general secretary had before him many offers that would have enriched him, many offers that would have positioned him globally. But he sacrificed every hour of his time for the PPP and to ensure that the PPP remain strong, remain resilient, and remain the champion. But more importantly, in that sacrifice was to ensure the PPP remain the champion of the people of this country. And we embarked on a journey. The One Guyana concept is not accidental. The One Guyana concept was birthed after the last Congress when we designed, it wasn't a slogan, when we designed a philosophy in the then opposition and the PPP of creating a one Guyana, one future, one people. A one Guyana, one people, one future. And the mandate of the leadership of the PPP was to walk every single street, walk every single corner, touch every community, touch every heart, reach out to every Guyanese and bring back hope, aspiration, ideas, vision to the people of Guyana. And it is this mandate that allowed us to reposition the PPP and to get the message back out there that the only national party is the People's Progressive Party. And if you have any doubt about this, look across this room at the membership of the PPP and be proud that this is a representation of Guyana. Every inch of Guyana is represented here. The vision is clear. The mission was clear. And the mission was to rebuild, to modernize, to carry our message to every home, to disallow those with racist and divisive agenda to build our narrative. And this was a weakness that we identified at the last Congress. We allowed others to define who we are. We allowed others to define the narrative about who we are. From the day we took back control of that narrative by naturally showing to the people of this country what the PPP stand for, the population rallied behind the PPPC, and that is what allowed us to grow this party. This party that we are part of has never been on such solid footing in the history of our party. I repeat this. This is the strongest the People's Progressive Party has ever been. And this is something we must celebrate. Young Guyanese, the future of this country, are embracing us. They're embracing us because they see in us the hope. They see in us a party that can fulfill their aspirations. They see on us a party that has stood the test of time and did not remove from its founding philosophy, its founding principles, and its founding values, and that is to always be on the side of the people. My friends, I cannot proceed further in my presentation without acknowledging the hard work and the support we receive from many actors in the society, because part of the mission and vision of the party was to expand our network, was to build relationship, and we built relationship at home and abroad. We expanded relationship at home and abroad. And when they tested us, in addition to our Attorney General and all our lawyers, when they tested us, lawyers came up from their offices and volunteered to work with us and fight with us, and we want to thank all those lawyers. The General Secretary himself was transformed into a lawyer because he was giving legal advice at 1 a.m. in the morning. We must thank all those in our society who stood up when it mattered for our country, and I ask you to give them a resounding applause. And we must never fail to call out the minority who masquerade as the voice of society but does not have the dignity or integrity to stand up for this country when it matters. It was no easy task to hold press conferences in opposition every day to expose the wickedness and to awaken the political consciousness of people. And I would say that it is the awakening of the political consciousness of the people that showed them what we stood for and allowed the people to make an informed decision in electing the People's Progressive Party back to office in 2020. During this period, we lost a number of our outstanding comrades. The journey to 2020 must be recorded correctly. And I wish to address some aspects of this journey in the 3 hours that has been allocated to me for this address. Comrades, the APNUFC unleashed one of the harshest ever campaign against the poor people of this country when they were in office. And make no mistake, the PNC held power for 10 years, 1 decade. The GS pointed out this. Because when we were in the minority government, they used their parliamentary majority to control us and to block development in this country. So for 10 years, they abused the power that they had, the APNU AFC, in destroying our country. And what did they do? Amidst their failing economy, loss of job and income, what did the PNC did? They resorted to the imposition of 200 new taxes. 200 new taxes on the backs of the ordinary people. What they did was that they plucked out of the pockets of the ordinary people $110 billion. And they have the audacity to say they care. 200 new taxes, plucking out $100 billion from the pocket of the ordinary people. As if this was not enough, they decided that they needed to punish the working class even some more. They removed the 1-month bonus from the joint services, taking away annually $1 billion from the pockets of the members of our joint services. In 5 years, and even the rain reminds us of the dreadful tears that the people shed under those woeful years of the APNU-AFC. Even God is reminding us now of the dreadful tears that our country, our people shed under those woeful years of the APNU-AFC. Comrades, never again! As if this was not enough, they removed the subsidy on electricity and water from the pensioners. They took away, in 5 years, $2 billion from the pocket of the pensioners by removing the subsidy on electricity and water. As if this was not enough, they remove annually from the Because We Care grant $3 billion from the pockets of our children, amounting to $15 billion they extracted from the pockets of our children. As if this was not enough, they took the public servants, the doctors, off of contract employment, taking away their gratuity, punishing the working class, punishing the professionals, and punishing the ordinary. And what this led to, comrades, let me give you a basic stat. In 2013, when we had a minority government, we registered more vehicles in this country than we did in 2019 when we found oil. That is because people did not have the disposable income. That is because of the bad policies. And last year, we registered 150% more vehicles than we registered in 2019. That is because people now have disposable income. My friends, what did this bad management cost us? The callous management caused a decline in the economy, non-performing loan at the household level. At the household level, people could not pay back their loans. It rose by 22%, from 1.9 billion to 10.9 billion. And all of this, I can go on and on, but all of this led to massive dissatisfaction in the society. And it is this dissatisfaction that called upon the opposition to provide strong and decisive leadership. To provide leadership that will rekindle hope. And like a responsible opposition, every time we went to Parliament, we represented the interests of the people. Every time we went to Parliament, we give them ideas. We give them alternatives. We tell them, don't close the sugar industry. Understand the implications of closing the sugar industry. And every time we brought ideas that will protect the people, they kicked those ideas out of the door. And eventually, the people of our country sent the message that we cannot wait any longer. We need something to be done instantaneously. And this led to the no confidence motion. So the no confidence motion did not come out of the air. It was a continuous political assessment of the environment by the leadership of the PPP, led by the General Secretary. We then tested the waters in the local government election before the no confidence motion. And when we tested the waters, we won those elections by 54,000 votes. We had 54,000 votes more than the AP and UAFC combined. There were many in the political environment at that time that questioned whether we could have been successful with a no confidence motion, whether it was worth the try. But comrades, on that fateful night, we were proven that the people were indeed ready to remove the hopeless government from office. But that was only the beginning of another phase of struggle. That was only the beginning of another phase of struggle for the PPP. We thought that morality existed with the government. Recall that in 2015, we peacefully handed over the reins of government to the APNO AFC. The no confidence motion was passed, but the uncaring and unbothered government had other plans. Although, on the night when the no confidence motion was passed, the then Moses Nagamutu said that they will respect the Constitution and the outcome of the vote. What occurred? The very opposite. The very man sought to justify that 32 is greater than 33. The very man used quarter bottle and large bottle to make his mathematical analysis. Today, the man is an author. Shouting from the mountain, he's a man of grace, but a man is a damn disgrace. Comrades, remember, they were so confident, they were so full of themselves, that when the leader of the opposition presented a motion for the no confidence, they said, bring it on. And when the motion came, they didn't have enough Lumatil for them at night. Comrades, right there on the floor, they sought to disrupt the results of the no confidence motion. They tried every trick. They called for a break. They called for a timeout. But democracy prevailed and the PPPC prevailed. The PPP prevailed. We prevailed. We prevailed. And the motion was passed. But the struggles would have just begun. For they then went to the court, making up arguments, and all those who claim to have moral ethos in our society, those vagabonds were part of a team trying to justify 32 was more than 33. They were the ones breaching the Constitution. the ones trampling upon the Constitution. And today, they have the audacity to say, we believe in constitutional rule. They believe in selfish agenda to protect power only for themselves. That is what they believe in. My friends, it is a while I did not get a platform like this, yes. I was straight-jacketed. But this morning I'm speaking as a leader of the People's Progressive Party. We then had to fight to get an illegally appointed chairman of the Elections Commission removed. Days and night of protest vigil. You, the comrades, the members of the PPP, you were not only there in the 5 months fight when the writing was on the wall, you were there in the fields, in the trenches, fighting to ensure we get the Constitution of this country respected. Because the membership of the PPP are not fair weather patriots. We are patriots every day, under every condition, under every situation. My friends, you can bring all the water, it ain't stopping me. So we had to fight again. We had to fight to get the no confidence accepted. Then we had to fight to get the chair of the Elections Commission. Then we had to fight for the elections. And when we fight for the elections, then we had to fight to ensure that the results of the elections were respected. This was no easy journey. This was a journey that tested our political strength, our political capacity, our political being. And at this point, I am proud, as this president, that we were led by a legend in politics, Barra Jagdeo. Yes, you can stand and applaud his leadership. Comrades, let me tell you, for too long, we stood still and did not celebrate the quality we have. It is time in this party that we unite and celebrate the quality that we have, the quality that we possess, the quality of leadership that we offer to this country. My friends, you think that was all? They were a caretaker government, and they proceeded against the Constitution and illegally again to approve $307 billion in the parliament that was unconstitutionally convened. Never had the parliamentary scrutiny. And they talk about transparency. In Jamaica, they say blood clot. And they talk about transparency. $300.7 billion unconstitutionally spent in a parliament that was unconstitutionally convened. My friends, it was an extraordinary journey. Make no mistake, in every step of that journey, we were tested. Let me skip some pages. The GS sipping water. Comrades, today, you know what hurt me a lot? You know what hurt me? Ramjetan, can go in Barbados and claim he loves sugar workers. When I sat across a room with him, sent by the PPP, to present a case for the sugar workers, and he said to me, there is no other way. We are going to close it regardless of what any social or economic studies say. And this man believed that he can once again walk into the life of sugar workers and claim he cares. $7,000 families were sent on the breadline. Children left school. And this man, this entity of the AP and USC, has the audacity to speak for sugar workers. They sent 50% of the bauxite workers home. 50%. $21 billion lost in the sugar industry, in the bauxite industry. $31 billion lost in the forestry sector. $9 billion lost. More than 50,000 persons lost their jobs. More than 50,000 families went to the breadline under this AP and USC government, and they speak today about what they care about. More than 50,000 families sent to the breadline. In just more than 3 years, your party, this PPP civic government, has brought back 60,000 new jobs to the people of this country. We have reopened the sugar estates. We have brought back more than 7,000 sugar workers. We have increased back bauxite workers. And by the end of this year, we'll double the number of workers in the bauxite industry. Comrades, in the rice industry, indulge me, GS, indulge me. In the rice industry, they increase land rental by 220%. They increased DNI charges by 600%. And today, they speak about how much they care about farmers. Comrades, we came to office, and in 4 short years, despite COVID, despite 2 major floods, we were able to deliver and fulfill within 4 years more than 95% of the manifesto we went to the electorate with. Comrades, in just 100 days, we faced COVID head-on. $10 billion we found in emergency funding. $7.5 billion cash grant went directly into every family pocket within 100 days. We delivered to our health workers more than $400 million in bonus for the work they were doing, and let us applaud our health workers for the work they did in COVID. The flood that hit us in the first 100 days of office had a price tag of $85.6 billion. And we took that price tag, we rebuilt, and at the same time, we give back directly to farmers and family $28 billion in cash transfer to support them as a result of losses in the flood. We immediately removed the 200 taxes, and by that one measure alone, we put back $120 billion in the pockets of the ordinary people of this country. As a result, from the highest non-performing loan, today we have the lowest non-performing loan in this region and ever in the history of our country. We are building highways, roads, D&I in every single community. Comrades, our workers, our sugar workers were denied their severance. We give them, transferred directly to those workers who were denied $1.3 billion. The highest level of subsidy in the country is given to the workers and families of Region 10 in cash transfer to subsidize electricity in that region. My friends, we continue to invest in agriculture. We are now working to ensure we'll become self-sufficient in corn and soya, black eye and red beans. We have revitalized agriculture, more than 3,000 acres of new coconut. We've expanded rice production to the highest ever in its history. We have expanded aquaculture. Production is at its highest ever in the history, and it is now, only now growing. Because these are going to be important pillars of the economy as we move forward. We restored the electricity and water subsidy for the pensioners. That is a transfer of $1.4 billion to their pockets. We increased old age pension over the last 4 years, amounting to $13.4 billion, transferred directly to the 28,000 pensioners. We increased public assistance, $2.8 billion transferred to persons. We have restored the discipline services bonus, transferring $4.1 billion in the last 4 years to their pockets. We rehired the CSOs, transferring $3.8 billion to those communities. 15% of the LCDS revenue goes directly to those communities. Put your hands back together for the global leadership we are now putting on climate and forests. We have paid almost $1 billion in bonuses to workers. Comrades, we have spent $258 million on cash grant for dialysis annually, $700 million on children living with disability annually, $955 million for children and pensioners who need spectacles, $1.8 billion in supporting the health of children, cervical cancer and supporting women's health, $2.8 billion, and the list goes on. Comrades, I have a list here. I'm going to leave it in your document. I don't want to keep you much longer. I just want to make one point that would dispel all this false narrative. Since we came into government, if you look at the budgetary allocation per region, you will see we practice what we preach: one people, one future, one country. In Region 1, the allocation increased by 146%. Region 2, 119%. Region 3, 132%. Region 4, 92%. Region 5, 73%. Region 6, 101%. Region 7, 155%. Region 8, 166%. Region 9, 127%. Region 10, 187%. Where is the damn discrimination? stop this nonsense. Get on the agenda of one Guyana, building a future strong, resilient, and sustainable for all the people of Guyana. Long live the PPP. Long live the leadership of the PPP. Long live Guyana. Long live the PPP.